everybody. Welcome back to the Feist Pro Football Handicapping Show here at Tom DeMarco's Pizzeria and Wine Bar, located at 9785 West Charleston Boulevard. We have a full house here today, which is fantastic. Thank you, everybody here that is watching as well. Sitting next to me is the award-winning handicapper and the undisputed champion in sports handicapping, Jim Feist. How are we today?
I'm doing very well. I mean, we have a monster crowd here today. Got a lot of very special guests. We have people that are here every week. We got some new people. This is very exciting. And by the way, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Let me introduce our panel.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jason.
Hey. Jason, one of our regulars, give a round of applause to Jason for his birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sitting next to Jim, we have a winner of 14 to 17 NFL seasons. He held off legendary sportscaster Brett Musburger down the stretch to win the Review Journal NFL Challenge. Back on the panel, Scott Kellen. Scott, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good to be here, guys.
And next to you, another returning guy, a 9-time baseball handicapping champion and the winning professional sports handicapper, a TV host and producer, Chirimbes. Chip, how are you?
Great, Tom. How's it going?
I'm doing well. We have a full slate of games, so hopefully we can get to some questions. If not, then we'll run out of time, but we're going to get to every single game. Let's kick it off with Thanksgiving. What I always say is the rock fight. We got the Packers and the Lions. Detroit's favored by 2.5. The total's 48.5. We got all kinds of people coming in. It was your birthday recently. Look at this. We got balloons coming in. Give Jim a round of applause. It's his 82nd birthday. We got balloons. We're tying into your chair. I mean, look at this.
Thank you, everybody. Sharon, thank you very much.
How's it feel to turn 50?
50?
Yeah, let's just call it that.
I can't remember that far back.
All right, let's get into tomorrow's rock fight game that I always call the Packers and the Lions. Detroit's favored by 2.5. The total's 48.5. But Jim, my bigger question for you is not so much on the line or the total, but I want to know, is this game going to decide the bet between you and one of our audience members, and Scott Pritchard?
I figure Scott's going to win because he wins every damn thing. Nobody picks futures better than Scott. He is absolutely amazing.
But you're still in it.
I have a chance,
Right.
But I must win this game or I'm dead. So I got to have the Lions, take them on the money line, but don't follow me on this. This is just a personal thing.
Scott, let me go to you. Do you like to give up 2.5 at home?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking.
Well,
Scott.
No, Scott. No, not Scott Pritchard. Scott Keller. I know what Scott wants. We know what Pritchard wants. Yeah, Scott Keller. Do you like giving up 2.5 at home in Detroit?
I'm not. I have not played the game yet. My model, which has done pretty well this year, does favor the Lions. But,
okay.
I think these teams are pretty even, but there's enough things that scare me about the Packers not being able to run the ball. And Detroit's got a very good defense this year. If Green Bay can't run the ball, that's going to put a lot of pressure on Jordan Love. And, I don't know if he's going to be able to come through with that or not. So I would lean Detroit, but have not played the side. I did play the total under because of the defenses, but have not played the side yet.
When you say model, explain what you mean by model.
Yeah, I have a player rating model. It's all based on who plays and doesn't play. And so that model, where if it's a home favorite of laying 3 or less, or the other places that fit in from the model, they're hitting about 57% this year, and it supports Detroit in this game. I am a Packer fan, but I will tell you, since week 2, I've gone against the Packers every single week because my model does not support them. That's, I think, 6-3 against the spread. So, and again, it does not support them this week. So, if anything, I'll be on Detroit if I play the game.
In case you don't know, this is Scott Kellen. He's a winning sports bettor. A lot of people may not know that name, but he's really good.
Chip, are you on either side?
Both these teams have winning records, 7-3, 7-4, and when I look at them, I just think they both are kind of disappointing. Green Bay loses to Carolina and Philly, and Detroit was dominated by Philly, and they ran for 240 yards the first time they met. I think Green Bay's the side because of the number as well. Detroit's not even a field goal favorite at home. So my inclination is to take the Packers here, and I like them in this situation.
They don't usually give much for the home field anymore. in football, NFL. So if they're sitting there at 2.5 or 3, they actually are favoring a little bit the Lions. So I understand what you're saying about that.
But I think it's easier to lay the 2.5 at home than it is to take Green Bay here.
I'd never lay the 2.5. I'd have to
But
play,
we're talking about the money line.
I'd have to play the money line if I played the game. I would never lay the 2.5.
So, Jim, let me go back to you. Last week, it almost looked like Kansas City's season was pretty much going to be done. And then we'll get into the play calling with Indy when we get there. But they're alive and well, and now they're going to go to Dallas, and we have a big Dallas fan that brings in the heavyweight belt. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before in my life. I mean, they might win the Super Bowl based on the amount of stuff this guy brought in. But they are home to face the Chiefs, and Kansas City is favored by 3.5. The total is 52.5. Is this what Kansas City needed to get their season back going?
I don't know. Thank God my friend there didn't wear a Spanx. So, that's
next week after they win this week.
That very well could be. After that 24-point comeback in the second half after down 21-0, that was pretty amazing. I don't know about Kansas City. They seem to be eating their food every week or playing with their food. They've won their division 9 straight years, been to the Super Bowl 5 out of the last 6 times. Eventually, this thing wears out. You just can't be as hungry every year. You can't. They don't seem to be in sync. But a lot of teams in the NFL seem to not be in sync. But a lot of those other teams don't have the same amount of talent or coaching this team has. It doesn't make sense that they're not able to turn that switch on, and look sharp. They just don't look sharp. Yes, they can pull out victories because they've got a hell of a lot of talent. Now they're going to go up against a very poor defense that's improved a little bit since Jerry made a couple of moves to improve the defense. They are better. But I'll tell you what, Dak is actually playing. I hate to say this because people are going to shoot me for it. Dak is actually playing better this year than Mahomes is.
Yeah.
So, I'd have to look at the dog.
Okay.
Personally.
Scott, does Kansas City make the playoffs in your mind?
I think they can. I mean, this is the best version of Kansas City that we've seen this year. They've got the receivers back, so I think they can. I think they also have, just looking here, they still have a tough schedule. They've got to play Houston, the Chargers, Denver, Tennessee, and Vegas, of course, will be a problem. So I think they have a chance, but it's still a tough schedule, and they don't have a lot of room for error.
Are you on either side?
I'm on Dallas. I've been on Dallas the last 2 weeks. I think that defense is way, way better now. Williams on the defensive line to go along with Kenny Rogers. They got Bosa back, who had 5.5 sacks for him last year. They added Logan Wilson, the linebacker. They got another rookie cornerback back in the secondary. The offense is elite. You look at the Chiefs, they've lost 4 games on the road this year. Chargers, Denver, Buffalo, Jacksonville. Their only win was at the Giants. They have not won those games by margin, obviously. And I think Dallas can hang here. Now, Dallas beat the Raiders 2 weeks ago. That's whatever. Philadelphia is a good team. Kansas City is a better team than Philadelphia. But I think there's a lot of potential here for Dallas to win this game. I also took the over. This is a perfect environment for Kansas City and their speed to score points as well. And I think Dallas will score points as well.
Is it necessary for Dallas to give up 21 unanswered points to start the game? Is that a requirement?
It seems that way, right? I mean, that's the thing about last week. Now, Philly had a couple turnovers too, but Dallas had 2 crucial turnovers that really put them in that hole. It wasn't so much what Philly did. Philly didn't score for the first quarter, early second quarter. So,
Chip, I was just going to ask you what Scott just brought up. Is this an overplay?
It has to be. I mean, when you break it down, it's going to be Mahomes and Prescott going head to head, and Dallas defense may have improved than their overall play has, but I still have in my mind that that's still the team I saw earlier in the year. And Kansas City, very fortunate, I guess, to get away last week and with a win. And then, you look at the box score, and they only gave up 11, 12 first downs in the entire game, and they dominated time. They needed it. They certainly needed it, and they need this one just as much. And I think Mahomes will get the best of Prescott. That's exactly how I see it.
Jim, go ahead, Scott.
I'll add one other thing in both these first 2 games. Remember, both these teams, Detroit and KC, played overtime last week. KC ran like 90 plays or something like that on offense. Historically, that's not a real good thing the next week, especially when they play on a Thursday as well, a quick turnaround. So we'll see how that impacts them as well.
Jim, let me ask you this. Burrow's expected to play in the other Thanksgiving game with the Bengals and the Ravens. Is there any reason for him to play at this point in time of the season?
Logically, no. But he is a football player, and players like to play. And if he says, the doctors say he's ready and he says he wants to play, I don't know how you sit him. That's what football players, that's what basketball players, baseball players do. They're players and they want to play their game. They love their game. And there's only so many years they can do it. So I understand it from a player standpoint. Is it smart? Probably not.
Right.
But do they have a chance to make the playoffs? It's really slim. I mean, they're going to have to win every game, and the other teams in the mix, Pittsburgh and the Bengals, are going to have to lose a lot of games. So it's possible, but it's not really likely.
Do you like Baltimore laying 7 here?
No, I took the points.
You took the points?
Yeah, I took the points, and I'd like the over too.
51.5. Scott, are you on this game?
Not on the game. My numbers do support the total, but I will say late in a season like this, divisional games outside, there's a high propensity for those games to go under. So I'm leery of that. Cincinnati, if you want a player prop, Cincinnati is horrible against tight ends. So now, it's going to be Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, but could be some opportunities from a tight end standpoint. Just Cincinnati's not covered tight ends well all year.
Chip, your thoughts on this game?
You see two teams, the ones that won 5 in a row in desperation when they were 1-5, and the other team now lost 4 in a row and 8 of 9. This Burrow and Chase combination is one of the best you've seen. I mean, it to me makes me think of Rice and Montana. I mean, these two. Now Chase is back after being suspended, but I can't play the game. I just can't. I think that the 2 early games I have sides on, and I'm just looking to survive that, to tell you the truth.
Last week, I was really harsh on Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase for spitting at the Steelers defensive back Jalen Ramsey. And you even said, should he be fined $1 million? And I said yes, because they shouldn't be spitting each other when they're role models to kids. But I got to give where credit's due. He's at least issued apology, so I want to at least give him some credit for at least issuing an apology. When he first said he didn't do it, then the film shows that he does. But I just say that I was hard on him last week. I want to say he issued an apology, and we'll leave it at that.
Tom, he was fined $50,000 by the NFL, but he lost the game check for $850,000. So you came pretty close.
I'm pretty close for that. Don't forget, if you're looking for the best handicap content on YouTube, make sure to check out Proline TV and join their YouTube membership, where you receive weekly top picks from my guy here, Jim Feist, Mark Lawrence, and many more. So check that out on Proline TV. Jim, we're going to get into the Friday game, which we have the Bears and the Eagles. In the last couple of weeks, I've asked, is Chicago the most dangerous team? I'm not going to ask it this week. Here's what I want to ask you, though. Is Chicago the worst 8-3 team in the league?
Maybe. First of all, they have a great head coach that was an offensive coordinator for Detroit the last couple of years. And he's doing a hell of a job with Caleb Williams. The kid is growing. A lot of people had doubts, including me, on Williams, whether he was good enough to play at this level. But they're winning. And that says a lot. Now, they haven't beaten that many good teams, but they're winning. And Philadelphia they're playing with their food a lot of times. I mean, you saw it last week, 21-0 lead, didn't do anything in the second half, lost the game. They're not the same team that won the Super Bowl a year ago, and I think we keep thinking about them as they are that, and they're not. So if I can get 7 points and give me Chicago with that record and that great offensive coordinator, that's
what it is.
That's just too many points. I have to take the dog.
Philly's laying 7, and it's 44.5 total. They got a 2-game lead in the division, believe it or not. Scott, what's your thoughts on first the Bears, and did you take a side?
No side. Kind of echo what Jim said on the Bears. I like to look at stats and, how many, like, for example, if you earned 5 yards of play and what's your opponent's giving up? Okay, if you're giving up 4.5, that means you're a half yard better than average, et cetera. So when you look at that at the Bears, they're negative 0.6 yards per play below average. So they're well below average. They're just a plus 16 in turnovers. So now that could continue the rest of the year. I mean, it's going to regress at some point, but is it this year? Is it next year? And maybe you give some credit to Ben Johnson. Maybe there's some stuff he's doing there because, they're winning games now where they would usually lose them. But at the line of scrimmage, they're not an above average team. They're not even an average team. They may get Jalen Johnson finally back, their best corner on defense. That'll help a little bit, but they're a below average team to me, and they're just living off turnovers, which is, helping them to survive.
What do you think about the Philadelphia side of this?
From the line of scrimmage, they're about average as well, right? So to your point, like, they haven't been that great. Now, we're laying 7 here, so not speaking, laying the points, but straight up. I think Hurts is like 22-5 straight up since he came to Philadelphia at home. So they tend to win games at home. So you look at that from a teaser standpoint, maybe. I don't see the Bears winning this game, but you're laying 7 points. That's still a lot of points as well.
It is a lot of points, but they did add another edge rusher with that trade that they made. I can't remember his name, Pierce or something like that. But that makes their defensive line very difficult.
He had a hell of a game against the Packers too.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Chip, the Bears have won I don't know how many games in the last seconds, we'll call it. Is this another game they pull out at the end?
I don't think they have a shot here.
No shot. Just chalk it up to 8-4.
Upside down on every number, and I think Philadelphia's just been laying low. Barkley's never getting the ball. They're just playing. They're waiting for the playoffs, and I think they're going to eliminate this team right here. You're going to see it. Someone told me the Chicago Bears were a fraud.
Scott,
right, Scotty?
At least he admitted he raised his hand right away. You got to give him credit, right?
See, Scott Pritchard has an opinion. You just have to get him out of his shyness to say it.
The key here is that 16 turnovers. If Philly doesn't turn the ball over, I really don't see the Bears doing much scoring, and I think they're in trouble here.
Jim, let's get into Sunday. And I got a feeling this might be a pass for you, but Rams-Panthers. The Rams are favored 10.5. The total's 45. Are you touching this game?
I have to be on the Panthers. I can't.
You're going to take the Panthers?
I can't take a team running across the country. I mean, they're the best team in football right now.
Right.
But you're going to get a bounce back effort from Carolina. I know they're not great. Bryce Young is small. You can't teach tall. You can't make him bigger than he is. But he's had a couple games, and they're playing at home. That's a big number to take at home. I'm sorry. I got to take the points here with the dog.
What about you, Scott?
My numbers are right about there. My only caution with Carolina would be Mourning. I don't know if it's better to spit on a guy or punch a guy in the balls, but he's suspended this week. J.C. Horn might be out, who's their best corner. So they could be down their 2 best corners, plus the rookie corner they had in there is hurt as well. So they could be pretty well. And they're already depleted 3-4 linebackers. So the defense could be really, really banged up. But my numbers haven't worked out, so I'm not.
Chip?
I think Carolina might be worth a shot here, though. I really don't think they're that good. Bryce Young, it's like watching a Jim Feist at quarterback.
That's a shot. I felt that.
Did it hit you in the front or the back?
46 years ago, you didn't talk to me like that.
Did that shot hit you in the front or did it come from the back?
Well, it was a stab. Definitely.
The Rams are ranked ninth both on offense and defense, and like I said, they're coming across the country. And here, this may be the key factor, Jim. No? Nothing to do with quarterback. The fact that they've alternated wins and losses 7 straight times is now it's their turn to win. So I'm going to take Carolina.
Got it.
With that.
Even with the shot.
Thank you for the support.
Jim, let me ask you. San Francisco's defense turned in an excellent night, despite all these injury losses they have. Shedeur is going to start in this game. They're going to Cleveland. But before we talk about the line, is San Francisco a dangerous team right now?
Well, let's talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk.
Nobody
else is paying attention.
They've had a lot of injuries all year long. Purdy has missed a lot of games. He is now going to Cleveland. Hello, Cleveland. We've got a couple people over here from Cleveland.
Yep.
And my wife is sitting over there, and she's from Cleveland. And my mother-in-law's from Cleveland, and they're sitting over there, too.
So you got to be careful what you say about the Browns.
Well, no, listen to this now. Okay. The weather in Cleveland is very bad, or predicted to be very bad, and wet. Purdy doesn't play well with wet weather and cold weather. He doesn't hold the ball well. And he threw 3 unbelievable bad passes last week and could have been 5. He got 3 interceptions. Forget about Sanders. He didn't prove anything to me against the Raiders. The Raiders might be the worst team in football. So that proves nothing, although he's now getting more repetitions. And maybe he can, if he doesn't turn the ball over, that's probably a plus. But I can't expect much more than that. So I like 2 things in this game. I like an upset with Cleveland, taking the points, and I like the under.
What points did you? Because it opened at 7, it's down to 4.5, and the total is 42.5, and it's down to 36.5.
Well, I got better numbers than both of them, so I got the openers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your thought, Scott. What do you feel?
I'm on Cleveland, despite Shadir Sanders, who, like Jim said, he was awful last week. They got away. They played the Raiders, but I like that Cleveland defense at home. They have played very tough at home. I mean, they lost to Baltimore by 7 a few weeks ago, but they were ahead most of that game. They lost by 1 to Burrow first week against Cincinnati at home. The weather's going to be awful, which is going to shorten that game a little bit as well. So short of the turnovers, which Sanders certainly could do. I grabbed 5. I missed the 6, but I've got Cleveland +5, and I hope they can pull it out.
Chip, you going 3 in a row? You taking Cleveland too?
The number bothers me with the Niners being so short here, and a rookie quarterback getting a second start. You usually have to go against all the way, but their defense is second in the total NFL. And if the way Purdy's been playing, if their defense can make things happen, they'll definitely have a shot. Their offense is 31st, and I have a tendency to want to take the points here, but I'm really afraid of the quarterbacking situation. Maybe, but he makes things happen, I mean, one way or another. I mean, he goes for the big play, so there might be some scoring here.
But you say face, Jim, with all your relatives and your wife and in-laws, talking good about the Browns.
Well, I have to. I still have to go home.
Let's get into the Colts, Texans at the Colts, and the Colts coach is self-evaluating himself after play calls at the collapse in Kansas City. What do you make of that? What do you make of the Indianapolis play calls down the stretch?
Well, there's so many poor decisions. You're making them on the fly. I've never coached a football team, so you're making decisions you have to do in 2-3 seconds, and there are always going to be mistakes made. I mean, nobody's perfect. But I'm going to tell you something about this game. I love the defense for the Texans.
Okay.
I really do.
Line's 4.5, total 44.5.
I don't know who's going to quarterback for the Texans, but the backup quarterback has been playing pretty well. Their head coach is very good. He's a defensive coach, which is probably why their defense is so damn good. This is a great game. I really like the Texans.
On the road.
I really like the Texans taking the points here. I think they definitely could win the game straight up.
What about you, Scott?
I'm on Indianapolis, laying 4.
I'm glad we agreed.
Now we got a little banter going on. Tell us why.
I mean, Houston's defense is very good, but I'm still not sold on the team. It looks like it might be Davis Mills again. They barely got by 2 weeks ago on the road at Tennessee with Davis Mills, who, like you said, Jim, he's played okay. He hasn't been a complete disaster for him, but I like this Colts team at home. This Colts team, I think, if I look, I don't think they've been home for a long time. They've been gone for almost a month. We have not seen them at home and what they can do at home, and I do think they'll be able to move the ball a little bit here, both through the air and rushing the ball. I know how good Houston's defense is, but it's still a relatively short number, and I'm just not sold on Houston on the road, especially if Davis Mills plays as well.
Chip, I know at the beginning of the year when I asked you about Indiana Jones, you were high on him. Are you still high on Indiana Jones?
Well, I hope he doesn't revert back to his previous form. He's been terrible, I guess. But the last 2 games, they've really struggled. Like I said, 11, 12 first downs against Kansas City, I think they had. And this Houston defense isn't going to give them a break. I mean, they're number 1. They're only allowing 4.6 or 4.9 yards per play, which is the lowest in the NFL. And Indianapolis, I think, is going to have to rely on their running game. I think they're going to have to get Taylor going here, because if they're going to start pressuring Jones and he starts making the decisions that he made when he was with New York and decisions that we've seen lately, they're able to go right into the Bachhaus, as we might say.
Jim, let me ask you about a game that I don't know how many people are going to be really paying attention to, except for the people from New Orleans and Miami, and that's the Saints at the Dolphins. Miami's favored by 5.5. The total's 42.5. Do you like anything in this game when we have 2 bad football teams, although the Saints seems to be playing better lately?
Honestly, you have to pass me on this because I didn't even look at the game. I don't trust either team.
I don't blame you.
And it's hard to imagine that I get too involved with this.
Scott, are you on anything, or are you passing this game too?
I'm passing on it. I think the only thing I'd say, though, in the NFL, it's not who you play, but it's when you play them. A few weeks ago, Miami was dead. Now, all of a sudden, they look like they're okay. Not great, obviously. So That's the more important factor here. I think Miami's playing a little bit better. Waller's back, so I think the line is justified, but I'm not playing anything.
Chip, are you passing too?
Yeah, I think we'd have to.
3 passes.
I'm on the part of New Orleans. I
I don't blame this game's. It's a tough game to pick.
And look, been fortunate with Miami on and against them this season, but isn't New Orleans at some time or another supposed to come up and play a football game?
Hopefully.
I'm afraid of it. Well,
Hey, they beat Carolina a few weeks ago.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Let's just jump in the next game, Jim. What do you like about the Falcons at the Jets? Atlanta's favored by 2.5. The total 39.5.
This is another one. It's exactly the same.
Same thing passing on that too?
Yeah, you got coaches issues, you got quarterback issues. I mean, it's a mess. Like, my wife says to my dog, he's a mess. Well, this game is a
At least
mess.
she wasn't talking to you.
Oh, she does that too.
Oh, you're a mess. Scott, are you passing this game?
I took Atlanta. I laid the 2.5. My numbers got it just over 3, so it's just a value play for me.
Chip.
Jets.
Oh, no. We're taking the Jets at home.
I got them.
Chipper used to call them the green slime.
Yeah, I still do.
I remember that.
I still do, believe me. Only 55 years since they've been in the Super Bowl. So.
But nobody's counting but you and the Jets fans. You're taking the Jets. All right, Jim, here we go. I'm a Bucs fan. You're a big Baker Mayfield fan. He suffered a low-grade sprained shoulder, MRI revealed. They're at home versus the Cardinals. The line was 5.5. It's down to 2.5. Total at 43.5. The Bucs continue to have more injuries after more injuries. I don't know what they got left in them. What's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, let's look at how football is measured and how teams are measured in the NFL. You play in a division, and if they win their division, they get in the playoffs.
Yep.
The only thing Tampa has to do, and they won a lot of very close games early in the season, and Baker was like a miracle worker, and everybody was saying he's the most valuable player. Well, that's not going to work out. But they can still win their division. The only thing they have to beat, really, because there's nobody else other than Carolina that they have to beat.
Yep.
They don't play Carolina this week. They play the Cardinals this week, who are putting up a lot of points with Brissett. So, and now he's hurt his shoulder. I don't know if he's going to play or not. They say he will. I don't know why they would do that. They don't need to play him. They only need to win and beat Carolina once. And then the division is theirs, and then they're in the playoffs.
Right.
Maybe they can get back some of their offensive linemen, wide receivers, running back issues, and get into the playoffs, and they could be dangerous because Baker is a winner. He's a firebrand. He's a warrior, and you can do a lot. They have a pretty good coach. They're not bad. They can play head-to-head with a lot of teams. In the past couple of years, they played Philly well. They played the Rams well. You just have to get healthy. They have not played one healthy game this year.
No.
So, personally, what I would do, and I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, I'm saying it's possible, that Baker is not really that hurt. They should sit him. They should rest him because the next week they played the Panthers.
That's what it matters.
Yes. All that matters now is win one game against the Panthers. We're in the playoffs, and that's all we need to accomplish. So, I mean, they're in a crap division. So, I'm not going to put stars on them for winning the division, but that's all they need to do is get to the playoffs, and they can do damage.
So you stay away from this game?
Definitely stay away from it.
Scott, same thing?
It's not his throwing shoulder, so I could see him playing. If he plays, this is a really short number in my mind. And you look at Tampa Bay, they played all their tough games. Their losses have all come against tough teams. Obviously, Arizona's not going to be tough. The rest of their schedule is New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, Miami, and Carolina. So this is a really easy schedule for them going out. If Mayfield plays, I would probably lay the short number.
It's Chip.
You know how I assume everyone has one team in say, my Auburn in college football. Well, Arizona is my team in the NFL. And I look at that team, I want to get sick when I see that team. Because last week I had a winning day, and Arizona was my lead play. And I'd rather win that than anything. So I don't want any part of this game. Tampa Bay's so beat up, and I'm sort of rooting for them. But I don't want any part of Arizona. Not again. I can't take it.
Jim, Cam Ward has his best game of his rookie season in their loss to the Seahawks. Is he taking the next step?
He seems to have some potential. The coaching change there. The team is a little bit of a mess, but I see maybe some potential. Maybe got infrastructure has to be improved. The coaching situation has to be settled, but they're an over team. So this game, what am I going to do with it?
You're going to take it over.
Over.
Jacksonville.
Absolutely. Now, I am not a Lawrence fan. He came out of Clemson. Everybody said this is the next great quarterback in the NFL. That hasn't worked out. But they can put up points. I like this game over.
So Jacksonville's laying 6.5, total 41.5. Scott, either side?
I grabbed Jacksonville +7 earlier. Tennessee +7. They've covered 3 in a row. Jacksonville, I had Arizona last week as well, Chip, but pushed on it. But Jacksonville kind of dominated that game from the line of scrimmage. 4 turnovers kind of kept Arizona in the game. So it worries me a little bit because Jacksonville's also coming off that thumping of the Chargers. But my numbers support it, so I grabbed Tennessee +7.
Chip.
I don't think I'll have any part of this game, either side, total, whatsoever. I can't even give you a prop.
Okay. Jim, let me go on to this. I know you've been outspoken about J.J. McCarthy. He's in concussion protocol, and the undrafted rookie, Max Brosmer, is the backup.
He has to be better. He has to be better. You can't be worse.
Well, don't say that.
You cannot be worse.
He might. Next week we might be talking about.
Are you kidding me? You cannot be worse.
Now wait a minute. They're going to go into Seattle. The line was 9.5. It's up to 11.5. The total's at 41. So being the fact that you think he can't be worse, that tells me you're taking Seattle.
I hate laying big points, but Seattle will drill this team. I don't know about this quarterback. They have such a great roster. They screwed up when they let Darnold go and said, JJ's going to come in. He's going to be everything we ever need. He's terrible. He does not.
You don't think he has potential?
Every time he plays, that little bit of that potential that you talk about goes away. I do not see anything that he does that's good.
Who's better, him or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence better than McCarthy?
Yes.
Okay.
By far.
All right. So you're not touching this game?
Seattle.
You're taking Seattle laying the big number.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Seattle team total over,
okay,
and Seattle lay the points.
Seattle lay the points. Seattle team total over. Scott.
I didn't play it. It blows my mind that Minnesota actually went to Detroit and won there 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, knowing what we've seen out of McCarthy. But he looks awful. It's 6 starts, so you got to give him time, I guess. But the eye test is not good right now. But I'm not playing. I'm not laying a large number. I'm not taking it.
Chip.
Seattle's probably the team that surprised me the most. I mean, they were open 50-1 to win it all. Now they're like 10-1 in different places. And their defense, their running game, they're solid. I'm really surprised at how far they've come. Sam Darnold, is he going to look for a little? Does he have a little extra incentive going up against Minnesota here?
Sure.
But does that matter?
No, I think he's got a little bit of incentive there.
And like I said earlier, Jim, I said, what were they thinking? I mean, they got rid of a quarterback that looked like he had finally come into his own. He had a bad playoff game, Sam Darnold, no question about it. But they jettisoned him and got rid of him before McCarthy had even played the game. And the only game I saw him play was the final drive against Alabama in the bowl game, and I think that's why he got drafted where he did, because I mean he didn't have a distinguished career where he was putting up numbers. And Jim, I don't know, he might be that bad. I mean, we saw him play 1 quarter this year.
Well, Cosell knocked him, and he doesn't do that, and he knocked him pretty big.
Yep.
And when he speaks, I listen. And he knows what he's talking about. I've watched a lot of football. This kid's mechanics are bad. I think attitude's bad. Decision making is bad. I'm not here to bury the kid, but they made a big mistake. They should come out and say it. They don't even want to play him anymore because it's embarrassing. When you put Wentz in there as a replacement, and he's actually better than him, that says a lot, because Wentz hasn't been good for 6 years. So, yes, I hate to say it, but here's another way you could play it. Play Seattle in the first half, then you don't have to lay the 11.5.
Yeah, there you go. So let me get into this. This great team that is from the city we're from, the Raiders, that you said, are they an NFL team?
No.
No, they're not an NFL team.
They have some players on the team that are actually pretty good, but the quarterback isn't. The offensive coordinator's gone now, thank God. I don't know if Pete Carroll knew that he was getting into a rebuilding job at 70-something years old. I don't think he did. It's a mess.
It is a mess.
It's really a mess.
They're going into the Chargers. Chargers are laying 10, total 41.5.
And the Chargers have been laying an egg lately, but they've been hurt. Now, I don't know if they're physically better off. This is not a game I can play. The only thing I would do is you start to look for alternative ways to play the game. Again, I would probably look at the Chargers first half, so you're not laying a big number like that. You can win the first half, because I don't see how the Raiders are going to be able to score in this game, because they haven't been able to score against anybody. And it just that's probably the way I'll look at it. And then in game, you want to look at it. But Harbaugh's a pretty damn good coach, and he's got some good material there. And Herbert can play football. If you can keep him standing, I mean, he's another guy that gets hit all the time. He's constantly being hit. So, I mean, they have no offensive line. Unfortunately, it's a shame, because they really are a talented team.
Scott's is too big of a number?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I've gone against the Raiders the last 2 weeks, and that's kind of coincided with they lost Jackson Powers-Johnson, Colton Miller was out. So that offensive line is decimated. And that's not going to work well against the Chargers. And the Raiders aren't getting any pressure on quarterbacks. So even though the Chargers' offensive line is a little weak, I don't know that they're going to be able to take advantage of that. So I'm not playing it. I'll look to play against the Raiders again, maybe when they get back home.
Chip, are you on either side?
Not really. The only thing I'd say, the Raiders, the only chance they have is to get the ball out of Geno Smith's hands. And it's a problem, because that's where the play starts.
So you got direct snap to somebody else.
And they drafted a running back, and I think this kid's going to be pretty good, but he's been smothered. He's had no room at all. And, maybe Pete Carroll ought to try and establish a running game first, because, like I said, I don't like too much good that can happen when Smith is throwing the ball.
How much of a difference do you think it's going to be with the offensive coordinator?
I have no idea. I just was in my head. I was thinking, why wasn't he building an offensive line or a running game first? They signed this guy for 3 years to be their quarterback. Where are they going to go? They're going nowhere.
Right.
And they haven't been able to run the ball all year.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to start that now, this late in the season.
True.
You might get a slight bump just because of the change, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes a difference.
Jim, the Bills are coming off the loss to the Texans, and they're going to go into Pittsburgh. They're favored by 3.5. The total's 47.5. I'm sure the weather's going to be an issue, but it's Buffalo. So what do you think about this game?
Well, it's Buffalo at Pittsburgh.
Yep.
The weather could be an issue. And we know the weather's going to be an issue in Cleveland, so it very well could be an issue in Pittsburgh. You have a pretty good quarterback in Josh Allen that's been, unfortunately, not supported as well as he could have been over the years. And you have a failing, older, broken wrist, left wrist, quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, who was once great. But right there, I think, is the whole story. And I have to favor the Bills, but this is one of those games. I don't lay numbers like this. I lay money lines like this. So to me, it's the Bills and the money line.
Scott?
I played Pittsburgh this morning at 3.5.
Okay.
Part of that reason was both of Buffalo's tackles are out right now, and they may not play, and that's a significant downgrade for them, especially when you match it up against Pittsburgh and their ability to rush the quarterback. So if they do play, I can always buy it back, but otherwise I'll hold it with my 3.5.
Chip?
I think we all can assume Josh Allen's a pretty good quarterback, and he got the number one rushing game in the NFL, 147 yards a game. They've lost 4 of their last 7 after opening 4-0. And I'm wondering what's going on with this Buffalo team. I mean,
Same question for me, yeah.
And,
It's like something's not clicking with them.
And Pittsburgh, it seems like the only time that you're going to see them, they've only won 2 of their last 6. So the only time you're going to see them do anything well is when we start threatening Tomlin. And then all of a sudden they come up with a game, and he's a great coach again, and Pittsburgh's viable again. And I think they come up big here.
Jim, Sunday night we have the Broncos at the Commanders. Denver's favored by 6. Total's 43.5. We've had talks about both these teams all year, but the Broncos seem to be a team that some people love and other people aren't sure of. What's your thoughts on Denver?
This is one of those games I really need to pass. I really have no opinion on the game.
What's your thoughts on Denver overall, though, as a team?
I think they're very good, but you got a spastic kind of a schizophrenic quarterback that shows up at times, and other times he looks terrible. You got a good coach. They've got a good defense. I mean, they got a lot of material there that can do a lot of damage, but Bo Nix has not been consistent. I don't know when he decides to turn it on and when he doesn't. He's only a second-year guy, so obviously the potential's there because he does play well at times. So it's not something I want to go and play on the road. You got the backup quarterback for Washington. They had a disappointing season. They thought they could do a lot more this year, but they haven't been able to. And Daniels has been hurt the whole damn year. So I'm going to pass the game.
Scott.
I played Washington. I mean, I think Denver's pretty good as a whole. I don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs because of the Knicks, but they don't win by margin on the road. And as bad as Washington's defense has been, I still think this is a pretty big number based on my numbers. So I grabbed the points with Washington.
How about you, Chip?
Like I said, Washington's defense allowing 6.6 yards per play and 31st in the NFL. I have to have them. Denver's won 8 in a row.
You got them.
There's no chance. They're terrible.
We'll give them to him.
Yeah, he's got them. They're all yours. All yours. Make sure to join Greg DePalma immediately following the show on Proline TV for a horse racing preview of the Clark Stakes from Churchill Downs. Let's get into Monday night's game, Jim. We have the Giants at the Patriots. New England's favored by 7.5. The total's 46.5, and I know you love James Winston.
Oh, boy. You really led me right into that one, didn't you? You know, he's exciting because...
You don't know who he's going to throw it to.
Well, he likes to complete passes. It doesn't matter who. He just throws them to anybody. But, you know, he's actually been playing pretty well. You look at these games that he's been in, and he's actually doing very well. And maybe he's matured a little bit. And maybe he's got his glasses fixed or his contacts fixed. But, you know, everybody's talking about the Patriots and how great they are. You know, I lean towards the Giants here. I do. I lean to the Giants.
Okay. Scott?
Well, first of all, Jackson Dart was full participating today, so he may start.
Okay.
Well, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and I've not played the game, but the Patriots lost their Will Campbell, the rookie tackle, out. They may have lost the guard, so that offensive line could have a bunch of injuries on it. So I've not played the game, but you know I'm going to watch it, just see what happens from that offensive line standpoint as well. Maybe if all those guys are out, maybe they'll take the Giants.
Chip.
Giants have blown 5-10-point leads in the fourth quarter this year, and but they do have a stranglehold against the Patriots as far as the numbers concerned. Last 7 times they played, and the Giants were covered 6 times, including February 5th, 2012. So I like the Giants. They just it's like the Yankees and the Red Sox. You know, right?
He's a Giant fan from way back.
Way back.
Season ticket holder.
We got time for a couple questions. Anybody in the audience got any questions? Raise your hand and we can get to. Okay, Ray, go ahead. I know you've been waiting like 3 weeks for questions, so I'll start with you. What's your question? Give us 1. Don't give us 5.
So I'm a futures guy. You know, the Rams look pretty damn good.
Rams on the futures, yes.
They look good, but you know, I have a question for Mr. Feist. There was a lot of hype in 22. You know, we knew what the Rams were about to do. We saw the Donald. It was pretty much set up before the season started for the Rams winning. Do they look as good right now today, whatever week it is now? Do they look as good as they did week 10, whatever we are?
Week 13.
Week 13 and 22. Do they look as good as they did?
He wants to know if the Rams look as good in Week 13 this year as they did in 2022.
Can you remember that? How the hell can I remember 2022? You know,
Ray does.
I don't remember that. Come on, Ray.
Ray, your answer is we don't know.
All right.
It's Bernie.
All right, so Green Bay, Detroit tomorrow. So I'm going to call my Detroit peeps. This third week, Dan Campbell is back to taking the play calling duties.
Okay.
They're number 1 in yards per play the last 3 weeks. What do you think about the Lions team total over?
Lions team total. Jim, what do you think about that tomorrow?
I feel comfortable with that. Yes, I do. I do feel comfortable with the line scheme total. What do you think about the game? How does it play out? What dominates that the game? The running game, the passing game, the defense. What do you see there? Because these two teams have been playing with their food.
Well, the Packers get Josh Jacobs back tomorrow, but the Packers body eye test don't look good to me, and they miss Tucker, their tight end, tremendously. It's changed the way you defend the Green Bay Packers. The Lions are going to pay him back based on what I'm hearing. This is their circle game. And they've been inconsistent, and they haven't fired on all three cylinders in all three phases. Tomorrow, I think you see that. So
Big revenge game for the Lions. From
right, which I don't know how you quantify revenge. To me, it's always a bullshit
motivation.
Ad. But because I covered that team so long and I'm still plugged in, I know that's a game. They are really – I like the Lions tomorrow.
And our last question coming from Scott Pritchard. I got a feeling this is going to be about the game.
Quick question for anyone and everyone regarding the Bears at 8-3.
Bears 8-3 question. Go ahead.
8-3, first place in their division. Do you agree or disagree with me that the Bears?
We can't hear you.
The Bears are not going to win their division, and they're an eyelash away from not even making the playoffs. They only have 7 spots available. The fact that they beat the Raiders 25-24, the fact that they beat Edward Scissorhands Daniels for Washington, who fumbled the snap as they're running out the clock, the fact that they beat the Vikings by 2, the fact that they beat the Bengals on the last play of the game, miracle win after miracle win after miracle win. That's why they're a fraud. That's why they're overrated. Do you agree or disagree?
He wants to know so I can tell. Hold on, so I can tell everybody that's watching. The question is about the Bears 8-3. Are they going to make the playoffs, and will they win their division? Because they've had so many close calls. Anybody on the panel want to take that?
Well, let me just throw this out there. This is their schedule: Philadelphia, Green Bay, Cleveland, Green Bay, San Francisco, Detroit. They're not an average team, and that schedule is not going to favor them. So I would say they will not.
Will not.
Exactly.
I agree they will not make the playoffs.
Spot on the schedule. That was going to be 1A. One is there a higher wire act? Trust your eyes. It tell you a lot. They pull games out of their tickets all year. You might as well just cue up the Benny Hill music because look at how they throw a helicopter. No, that's come to an end quick. And his schedule, I didn't know them all verbatim like that. I just know they're all playoff teams, and we're going to regret it.
So next week on the show is going to join us is Vinny Maguglio and Jeff Whitelaw. But before we go, we want to thank Jay Lore for always donating 3 bottles of wine. You guys all have tickets. We will draw them after we go off the air. But before we go off the air, with tomorrow being Thanksgiving, I just want to take a moment to thank some people. First off, I want a big round of applause for Albert Skelly, who's the proprietor of DeMarco's that makes this show happen. Greg DePaul from behind the scenes back on Proline TV. Chris Angelo from here that does the PR that takes care of all of us. Jim, I want to thank you. All our viewers, the audience, and everybody on the panel. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Good luck on your bets. But Jim, happy belated birthday, and thank you for everything.
Well, and thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.
You are welcome. I'm more than happy to do it. All right, everybody, we'll see you next week. Good luck on your bets, and happy